The onset, Marylander Brett Kavanaugh appeared to be the frontrunner as the president's pick to be the next justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. The president also said he'd like to appoint someone who went to either Harvard or Yale. Well, Kavanaugh went to Yale for both his undergraduate and law school educations. And just about 2 hours ago, President Trump announced his second appointment to the U.S. Supreme Court. The president nominated D.C. U.S. Court of Appeals Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Mr. Trump touted Kavanaugh's, quote, impeccable credentials and described what he believes is most important for his nominee.
I do not ask about a nominee's personal opinions. What matters is not a judge's political views, but whether they can set aside those views to do what the law and the Constitution require.
My judicial philosophy is straightforward. A judge must be independent and must interpret the law, not make the law. A judge must interpret statutes as written, and a judge must interpret the Constitution as written, informed by history and tradition and precedent.
Kavanaugh's selection came as a result of Justice Anthony Kennedy's retirement. Kennedy, a Ronald Reagan appointment, often served as the court's swing vote for more than a decade. Kavanaugh is a conservative who could upend precedents on matters from abortion to gay rights and to the powers of the executive branch. But former Maryland Attorney General Doug Gansler, a Democrat and a friend of Kavanaugh's of nearly 35 years, believes that Kavanaugh could play a similar role like Kennedy on some issues before the court.
I don't see him as being, he being Brett Kavanaugh, as being sort of the the Scalia, Thomas, Alito, far right. I think he'll probably be in a swing vote on many issues going forward.
That's what he told me on the telephone just a short time ago. And Kavanaugh once clerked for Justice Kennedy, and here's a little more about Kavanaugh. He's from Bethesda. He attended Georgetown Prep. He is a graduate of Yale College and Yale Law School. In addition to serving on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, he teaches at Yale, Georgetown, and Harvard. And current Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan hired him to teach at Harvard Law. Gansler knew Kavanaugh at Yale and believes Kavanaugh will keep an open mind.
He does not live in a conservative bubble. I mean, so many people, judges and that are nominated that are conservatives, don't really ask for or live with or see other points of view. And the very fact that he lived with some of my very close friends at Yale Law School who are more liberal than I am, I think says a lot about who he is and what he's exposed to and his willingness to listen to other people's points of view.
Kavanaugh is 53 years old and, if confirmed, could be another young addition to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, here's what comes next. Vice President Pence will escort Kavanaugh to the Senate tomorrow morning to meet Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Former Senator Jon Kyl will guide Kavanaugh through the Senate confirmation process. Andre Hepkins, WBAL TV 11 News.